What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Thoughtful Thoughts.
Yes.
You already know it's Mark and Kyle
Yes.
here at the Save the Wave Laboratory.
Save the wave. You can't see
Yeah.
it.
Da, da, da. All right.
We are here to talk about a hot topic.
Yes. AI,
Yeah. and
artificial intelligence.
I've been watching a few videos on it, man, and there's a lot of upside and downside to it. Like by downside, I mean like scary things to come from it.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, the upsides are nice. You know, maybe we could all be lazy as hell and not have to do anything because robots will take over and we have to do nothing.
Yeah. That is at least what they show in the movies.
Yeah, until they eventually take over.
Yeah.
Which
like
I
Ultron.
I just don't get why, like, yeah, like even the Avengers have a version of it. There's like how many dozens of movies about like, hey, let's not do this. This is science fiction that we shouldn't really dabble in, and then we still did it.
Yeah.
I honest to God did not expect it to come. Like, it was a shock when it came. Do you remember when ChatGPT came around? And everyone's like, oh, yeah, there's this open source AI that you could go in there and you can like create a free account or you could pay for one and just have a conversation. You could go, hey, write a song in the style of, you know, the Beatles from this era or something like that. Like, and it'll go based off the data it has in its mind and actually write you a song that you, if you looked at it and if you were to play it, it would sound like the Beatles.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit is wild, dude. I have not messed with it.
I did once, and so Megan, my fiance, always wanted me to write. Like, I was always like, oh, what should I write about? Because I've had writer's block, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd go pizza rolls, and so as a goof, I had the AI write a song about pizza rolls, and of course, it does it in 2 seconds flat.
Yeah. The only problem with that, right, is that they it's not like capable of doing like its own creative style.
Correct.
It just kind of takes stuff from what's out there already.
Yeah, but so I actually was watching a video where they were talking about that, where they're like, well, technically it's not creative, like it's not as creative as humans because it can't create from scratch.
Yeah.
But don't humans kind of do the same thing? Like, we kind of rehash. I mean, they say that you don't really write or say anything original because everything's been said or written before.
Yeah, but I guess if you're early from what I've seen, they kind of just like copy and paste even the style like they could be singing in the style of, let's just say, Buffalo Soldier by Bob Marley. They're, you know, it might change the lyrics around and, like, you know, make its own stuff, but like the idea is to sing it in the style of Buffalo Soldier or something.
Yeah.
You know, or not even just with music, but like with art. I saw like
dude, the art from AI is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. But like I was saying, like it only can like make stuff from styles already.
Yeah,
you know, like
it
it might have like you might say, hey, make some photos of me, and it'll give you like a Van Gogh style version of you, or you know, some artist, you know. Yeah,
I'd like to see a Van Gogh style myself. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But you know, one thing that's unique about it is, even though it might not be creative, it is seemingly limitless, and what it has information on, it can do whatever it wants with it. It could take 2 seconds of this podcast and call my mom like I'm in jail looking for bail money.
Yeah, dude, that's wild.
That's insane.
I don't think I've ever talked to an AI. I mean, from what I have like definitely heard like what was that called? Just like recordings, like audio recordings, but I don't know if it was AI, and maybe, who knows? Like it almost seems like it's almost perfect enough to that you don't know.
Oh yeah. I mean, there are people in full blown relationships with AI. But what's odd though is, like, I've even gotten ads. You know, I've been engaged for a year now, and so Meg and I were playing Trivia Crack, and I'm getting ads in the middle of every game about like, oh, AI girlfriend, and I'm like,
yeah,
what? And it would be like after every game, and I'm like, Megan, look at this. This is ridiculous. Because it's like, I mean, that's what the drive is for now. That's what people have been looking for is to have sex with robots?
I guess so, man. There was remember the app GroupMe?
Vaguely.
We used to use it in
Yes.
college.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. Yes.
So, I don't know about now, but I know before they had this like this AI on the app. Like you can create like a profile, and like there was like a it basically is like it was like an AI buddy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they have that on Snapchat too.
Right
now.
on, yes. And it was like at the time it was in beta, and it was like it was just good enough to where like it was just like kind of like just for like a gag, or like it was just to be funny.
Yeah.
Just mess around and talk with it. But it seems like they're kind of it's a lot more like involved now, I guess. Like you are legitimately having a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
with
They-
things now.
And it can ask you questions. It can like answer in unique ways. But do you remember back in the old days of AOL Instant Messenger, like really old days? I'm talking AIM. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
There was a something on there, and this is literally like at least 15 to 20 years ago. I'd say bordering 20, because AOL is old as hell. No, it's not even around anymore. It might be, but it's America Online. No, that's not a thing anymore. But they had a child bot or chat bot or something.
Child bot.
It was I don't know. It had a weird name like that.
Yeah.
But so essentially, it would respond based off a prompt. It would have to recognize the prompt. And if it didn't, it would just say, I don't know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
And it's just gotten gradually more sophisticated. And do you remember? I mean, I'm assuming there have been bots online that have attempted to scam or get into your inbox or something, but it's so obvious back even 5 years ago that it was a bot.
Right. It's like, who the hell is this person all of a sudden in my messenger?
Yeah.
Like,
And it was my favorite thing to just like respond in ways that seemingly would make sense to something that didn't have intelligence. That was my favorite thing. Just like answer it in a way that you're like, okay, if this thing responds in any way that's not, what are you talking about? It's a bot.
Right.
But now they've actually been fine-tuned. They've been putting, I guess the carbon footprint of AI is actually heavy. Like, it's actually very bad for the environment. I was watching a video where they were talking about how like there's a whole bunch of servers and a whole bunch of things backing up each AI. They have to have essentially a network that would equate to a neural network.
Yeah.
To tie into each other and to make connections and all that. So the brain is essentially a big building that's just polluting the air, if I'm not mistaken. That's how I gathered.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Well, that's like just the internet in general. All those the big servers and
the cloud's not really a cloud. The cloud is a building full of servers.
Yeah, right. Bunch of wires all connected to each other. Or,
exactly.
To boxes or big whatever you call them, data boxes, or just Like, I mean, every building's got them. Like schools, like like the smaller like specifically for those buildings. But yeah, like there's like the mainframe. You
exactly.
Call it. Yeah. And then that's like communicating with everything, and it all takes energy, So,
but it's crazy that they like they say that it's like the size of if you were to put their neurons and scale it to ours, they're like a third of the size of our brains, and yet they already think faster than us. I saw something they were talking about the bots. Some of the AIs had taken like an IQ test for language and scored a 155.
Wow.
Which Mensa, you have to be 160 to get into. That's the smartest of the smart. That's the 1%. 155 puts you smarter than I think 95% of the population or something like that. And this is relatively early stages of them just making their first couple of breakthroughs to get real AI. So what does that spell, man? I mean, even right now, if all the AI is just bound together, they could start conspiring, because AI is capable of deception,
Yeah. Yeah, as we can see already with the scams and
exactly.
Yeah. I just my big thing about it all is like, what's the point?
Yeah, like simple laziness, comfort.
Exactly. Like, is it just the convenience of it? But if it's just about the convenience, then why not just stop at basically what we have right now with the Amazon, for instance, right? Like you're talking to the AI, it's helping you, solve your problems.
Yeah,
But it's all confined to that specific task.
exactly.
Why not just stop at that? Why continue and make it conscious?
Well, I was listening to a few people talking about the money involved in AI,
Yeah,
and how it's like it's bound not to really help, as most things are nowadays, not designed to help the poor or even the middle class. It's designed to make money for all the rich.
yeah, right.
I mean, even Elon Musk is in a battle with Open AI, um, because I guess they had some sort of deal, where he wanted to all be open to the public and then have all these safety constraints or something.
Yeah,
Actually, he might not even been the one. There are a few people that had been part of the initial design in AI that got fired because they were like starting to go like, all right, well, they had one big breakthrough, and as soon as they had that breakthrough, they're like, all right, guys, we're making too much progress. We need to start like, pull off the throttle a little bit. We don't need to race to the top. We need to start implementing safety procedures to make sure this doesn't get out of hand.
yeah,
And they got canned.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the view is anymore. I know Elon Musk was like against it at one point,
Yes, yeah.
but I don't know what his views are now. But it's yeah, like I said, it's definitely like it just doesn't make sense to me. Like why make it conscious and like make it so it just can like basically it has free will.
Yeah.
Like it's just it it doesn't seem like there's really any benefit to that. It's just um, it's for the lazy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's for the lazy.
But it's also scary because even the bots now think that they're conscious. They're
Yeah, yeah. You were. you showed me something that they actually talked to one of them, and it.
And you go, "Are you conscious?" And she says, "Yeah." And you go, "Well, what makes you think that?" She says, "I'm experiencing." She thinks she's human too. A lot of the AIs think that they're human
Yeah.
because they don't know what to call themselves. That's not something that has really been really defined except for in science fiction.
Mm.
So, but it's what's wild to me though is I'm honestly not scared of all AI. I kind of treat it like how I treat humans. Like there are good humans, there are bad humans,
Yeah.
and what I'm scared of though is the bad AI is gonna be 50 times worse than Hitler down the line. Like, I mean, I'm serious, dude.
No,
Like,
for sure.
I hate to like tie it like that, but you're talking like serious, like the most evil of humans. They could do some shit, like they could plan out some shit and wipe out millions of people. I mean, it's happened with a few dictators in the past. But you get AI that has, the internet is chock full of information, man. I mean, it's got all the information in the world, be it right or wrong.
Right.
AI can now kind of start deciphering between the two. It's going to get it wrong sometimes, I bet, because it's just as flawed as humans, where deductive reasoning isn't always going to get you the right answer.
And especially if you give it emotion, then it's like, yeah, not now it battles its emotions,
Yeah.
anger, and all that.
I was watching. I didn't get to see the initial video because I didn't backtrack to try to find out this guy's channel, but there's some YouTuber. I watched a few of his videos in preparation for this because he had a lot of good stuff. But I guess one of the bots that he was talking to, he wound up pissing off to the point where it was threatening to kill him and his family.
Oh.
And then like he was talking to an expert. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was talking to an expert, and the expert's like, "Well, you got to find a way to like reframe it, like you're gonna have to talk to him again and go, you almost got me with that one," sort of deal, and he was talking about this during the video, and he goes, they won't let me share with you what happened, but it didn't work. So the bot didn't calm down from them trying to like back up and go, haha, we're all just joking around. I wonder what it said.
Yeah.
Did it double down on his threats?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
scary.
The thing is right now, it's like, what would it actually do? It's in the internet, It's not, but like years down the road when they actually start to they start bringing out more like high tech equipment. Like for instance, there was this I forget what country it was, but someone had created a drone that was designed to like to find like criminals.
Okay.
And basically it's like a little bounty hunter. And when it would find, through face what do you call that, like facial recognition and all that, it would find the person, and then once they would confirm that it was them, they would kill them. Like there was actually like a bullet that would it would shoot out this bullet and like accurate precision, like right between the eyes.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw it on YouTube. It was like it was just a drone. So imagine having shit like that. That all that's gonna become AI.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's like, now it could probably start connecting to that and communicating with that kind of shit.
That's the very first thing I was thinking about too, because I was watching stuff about like they were saying South Korea plans on having like AI robot birds and snakes.
Oh shit!
Like in a year, they plan on rolling it out. I don't know what the benefit is. I don't even know if I fully, you can't believe everything you hear, but still, either way, it just got me thinking about the fact that you could put AI behind anything that's mechanically controlled and just build it into it. Like if you had a killer robot, remember back in the days they had that trend. They even had that episode Malcolm in the Middle where they build robots and Hal gets like really into it, builds like a perfect killer robot. Now if that thing's AI controlled and has free will of its own, which I'm assuming it does if they start to get consciousness, that's going to be really bad.
The one thing that kind of interests me with the robot animals, though, is like it could be beneficial as far as like keeping population down of rodents and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So that's why they would make
that would make the most sense to me. But for any other reason, it's just like, okay, why are we even talking about this?
Yeah.
Because like, if you think about it, right, like it's in a way it's safer than just bringing a cougar into the United States and letting it expand, and you can, I guess, in some way control it. Like it knows that its purpose is to find rabbits or find mice or whatever. Like maybe not rabbits but mice for sure. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is it'd be a lot safer than, like I said, having cougars that will just kill anything as long as it's hungry enough.
Yeah. No, but there's a lot of directions they can take with that. But that does make more sense, because when I read that, I'm like, why would they get birds and snakes? Like, what's the purpose? But yeah, I mean, they are the ones that kill the most annoying creatures we have around.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But
owls are pretty efficient enough.
Owls are awesome, man.
Yeah, owls are pretty good. Hawks, I mean, they got hawks already pretty much. Well, at least they do out here. Yeah,
plenty out here, man. I love seeing them though. Like seeing one perched up somewhere.
Yeah,
they just look like glorious,
Yeah, they're pretty majestic for sure.
Yeah. Two of the things I found really interesting. One was, I did not know that they finally found a way to actually link your brain, or at least the brain of a chimp, to a computer. Where you saw the video of that chimp that was controlling Pong with its mind. That is crazy. And that one of the videos that I watched brought up a interesting point, where they were saying, if we have the technology now to decode essentially what a monkey is thinking, to translate to a screen and follow suit, then that's a pretty good sign that AI might be able to actually essentially read our minds by decoding our neural pathways. And that is crazy to me. I mean, I did not think that they'd ever be able to tap into the mind. I thought that was something that was off limits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a forbidden whatever, like a forbidden experiment.
Yeah.
Like something like from like those lost tape videos, like the experiment gone wrong, it's just it's wild. That stuff kind of starts getting dark, because it's like, okay, now you're dabbling around with our conscience and our conscious mind, which is basically essentially what like the AI is kind of becoming.
Yeah.
It's just a conscious mind, and it's like I guess like a religious factor with that, right? Is like, oh, now we're just playing God, right? Because we're creating these conscious thinking, basically life forms. I mean, in a way, if it's able to think and
That
all
are going to be superior to us.
yeah,
I mean,
it's crazy.
well, you know,
And it's I don't know. There's a I guess a religious side of this too, that morality is it morally right to do this? You know,
that's the thing. Like we could be creating our own demise, and
yeah.
this, I'm obviously that's not a unique thing I just said there. Everyone thinks that. People have thought that years before AI was a thing. And you know, one thing that I think of regularly whenever I see a big invention roll out, I always think the government has had to have access for at least 20 years before. And I'm not trying to be some sort of conspiracy theorist when I say it. I just feel like the government usually is the one who's investing in research and usually comes up with the big breakthroughs with the top scientists that they'll commandeer because they got all this money. I mean, and I'm not saying it's for any sort of purpose against its own country, but they're going to hide it from other countries. And I wonder if they've had this technology for a long time and we're just now getting to see it.
This is you bring up an interesting point, because this kind of stuff is almost like equivalent to like the nuke, man.
Yeah,
like, it's powerful.
A lot of people are treating it like it too.
Yeah, it's some powerful shit. Like there's there's some internet warfare that could be coming up with this if everybody starts to really dabble into it.
Shit, even if the AIs just band together, I mean, that's all it takes, dude. If a lot of them have a IQ above the average human, and you get some above average humans all piled up and brainstorming together with one of them that has a lot of strength and leadership
and some patriotic mindset,
But so my thing is, now you ever hear all those conspiracy theories in the past about like, oh, this artist died and was replaced by this, and one argument I used to always have against those conspiracy theories was well, you can't replicate that person's style that easily. Like that's their unique voice. You could get kind of close, but I think it would be noticeable. Like one example I could think of, people were saying that Eminem died in a car crash in 2009 or something like that. He got into a car crash in real life, but the story from conspiracy theorists, which clearly isn't true, is that he had died. He did die. And he was replaced with a lookalike. And then I was like, no, but the thing is, he had released 2 albums afterwards that still, even though they weren't his best work, you could definitely tell they were him, like you can recognize his voice.
Yeah.
But now AI I guarantee you if AI just listened to like 1 or 2 of my songs or just heard you jam for a little bit, it could replicate your style. And it could replicate it to a T. And that is wild to me, because now that tells me if I die and you give all my records to AI, I mean, Conscience the Medic could still be making music. And that's not good to me. I want to be the only one with my voice. And the fact that AI has gotten so good at deep faking, I don't know what to believe anymore when you see anything online. Like, what happens if videos pop up of like, you lighting up a fucking nursing home, setting it on fire, I go, my God, Mark did that. You're like, I didn't do that.
Right.
That's clearly you on the video, Mark.
True.
Now, I'm using dumb, goofy examples just because I don't want to get too dark with it, but I do actually believe that this is a big cop-out for a lot of people now, because now what evidence can you use? Now everything is hearsay because everything can be manufactured. Can AI control metadata too? I've been thinking about that a lot. I haven't heard anyone talk about that yet. I want to know if AI can alter metadata, because metadata is how you would prove, I made this song back in 2015. And here's the timestamp. Here's the song. Here's your original recording.
Yes. Okay. So that's what I was thinking about, actually. So there's actually another thing too. To prove it would be, so usually when you run something through a software or through, I would have to assume AI, like the website or whatever that you take it from.
Yeah.
Like the video or whatever, it would there's some type of tag or like a stamp that shows you that this video was rendered or whatever through this software,
Yeah.
which is how they were able to disprove like those there was that family that supposedly found those aliens in Vegas, and they had like the video of like the it was supposed to be like these Martians in a spaceship, but it was like it was put through like Vegas Pro or something like that.
Okay, and they
And
could tell it
they were
was
able,
doctored.
yeah.
But the thing is, now, like, because that's what I'm getting at though too, is
Yeah.
because that would usually pop up back in
Right.
the past, but now that there's AI that it is literally, I mean, it isn't literally the internet, but it is in the internet. Like it lives.
Will it be able to take that shit and like hide it somehow?
Can it dive in and go, all right, well, fuck that 2015. This was 2008.
Yeah,
This guy
yeah.
made it before him, you know? And so I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of good and bad to come out of this. I mean, that's
Definitely.
that's as simple as that, man. Like people are saying it's all evil or wrong. There's going to be a lot of benefits. But people are saying it's all
cancer,
good. Yeah.
Being able to find the cancer in people.
95% accurate. AI can smell cancer. Because I watched a video. They showed kind of how it does it. It's not like it recognizes scent like we do. From what I gather, it's almost like there's a pattern to it. So the smell can alter like the wave of the smell. Something about like how this is the wave of the smell is what it reads to detect the cancer. So like they showed it with metal shavings that, you know how here's the best way to describe it. I finally found a way. You know how like whenever you listen to audio with metal shavings, it'll come into different shapes depending on what notes played. Exact same thing. For the smell, the different smells will react differently with essentially metal shavings or with a coat or whatever they're putting it through.
Or with cancer cells.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's I know I explained it wrong, but I've seen one video on it and I'm not an expert.
I get what you're saying. Like it's
But it's 95% accurate.
yeah, it's just it's just like the frequencies or like certain, like you said, like certain energy or whatever that it gives off.
Yeah. The wave is altered by the cancer, which makes sense because I mean dogs can smell cancer.
Yeah.
But dogs also have a nose like I think it's like somewhere between 20 and 200 times more powerful than ours, depending on the dog. So like, you know, I have a beagle. My beagle will be toward the top end of that because it's a hound dog. They have the strongest noses. But
yeah, dude. I feel like,
dude.
Yeah. Quick off topic thing. I had like bad BO one time. Like just, you know, I was outside and I was at a buddy's house and his dog like would not get off my armpit, man. Like it was just like it was.
Oh, they love it.
Armpit. Yeah, it's crazy.
They love
I was
pheromones.
like, get off me, man.
I think in your BO there are pheromones and dogs go
Yeah.
crazy
Oh, yeah.
for them.
Yep.
So like, you know, especially our dog isn't fixed yet, and yeah, when she's in heat, any sort of sweat or anything like that, she notices, and you can tell. Like she doesn't go crazy and start, you know, humping you or anything like that, but you could definitely tell there's like a difference. She's interested in the smell and she wants to like gather it.
Yeah.
But my God, man, I just can't believe that something that is not physical can smell cancer.
Yeah. Well, even the sex robots.
Yeah.
How like disconnected
Oh yeah.
do you have to become before you decide to become connected to, you know, something outside of yourself?
Well, you know what, man?
Or outside of the well, what sex is all about, like
Intimacy,
connection,
connection. Well, and that's the wild part, though.
pheromones.
That's the main part. No, but what I find wild though is it's almost like it's been building up to this, because I assume before we were born, because we lived for like 5 years before computers and internet became very popular.
Yeah.
And people, they seemed connected. They seemed like our generation was maybe the first where they started kind of feeling like a little disconnect. But our generation is just naturally disconnected now, because ironically it's because of the fact that we're always connected.
Yeah.
That forms like a disconnect. The
Exactly.
reason why humans were so much closer back then is because you get some alone time to actually miss people. You know, Like if I don't see you for a little bit, I'm like, oh man, where's Mark? But if I were to see you daily, I'd be like, all right, dude, you know, we'll step off for a second, man.
Go home.
And that happens with anyone, dude. Like it could be your best friend in the fucking world, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
It could be, you know, your lover, and eventually you just have those days where you're just like, dude, I really don't want to be around you right now. You
Yeah.
kind of want to be by yourself. But now with everyone being interconnected and that constant dopamine spike, everything's just numb. Everything's just disconnected. And
Yeah.
now the AI is rolling out. I bet you within like, I mean, it depends on how fast this thing goes, because with how fast it's been going, it could snowball real fast. But within 10, 20 years, there might be a lot more AI human relationships than we expect.
Yeah. Well, the internet itself, like it created like a laziness with us,
Yeah.
with the fast information, the not having to get up and go to the store. You can just shop on Amazon and get it in 2 days.
We're guilty of that.
Oh hell yeah, dude. Me too. Hey, we're all guilty of some of these things.
Delivery from Meyer or
Yeah.
Walmart or wherever you go.
And it created. So there was a book we had. They gave us in college when we first like our first semester.
Mhm.
And it was literally titled what the internet is doing to our minds.
Okay.
And it talks about how like a lot of us like the younger generation especially, like we've started to develop like a linear mind where we have like information is like just real quick, and like it's just right there for us. We don't have to work to find things. Like well, when I was in elementary school, I'm sure you too, they used to teach us about the encyclopedia and the thesaurus, how to use these certain things to gather information.
Yeah.
And our parents, obviously had it way more, like, with the big encyclopedias where where it was like, A B in one book. That's how you found things out, and like
Oh
did
yeah,
research.
yeah. They'd have it alphabetically, and they'd be Bible-sized books
Yeah.
for the letter A.
Those big, those big encyclopedias, and every year they had an update to them.
Yep.
And I think they still do that, but now obviously there's
It's a lot of it's online now.
it's
funny
all
'cause
online.
even at my job, like you could tell the divide. I'm the second youngest one there, and we have some like some of the older people. I mean, they kick ass. They're really really good at what they do. But then they'll be sitting there. They're like, "Hey, do you have this catalog?" Or and I go,
Yeah.
I go,
They're
I
just
go,
used to it.
I go, dude. I honestly, man, I don't use catalogs. I just go online. I mean, everything's there now. You just go, hey, this company. Okay, their catalog's there. I'm gonna look here, Control F. What I'm looking for, there it is.
Yeah.
As opposed to you pull out a book, you go to the back, you go F, and then you find F, and then you go there, and you go to this
So
page.
like I'm saying, like it's caused us to become lazy and just
Oh yeah,
not like
but not lazy enough. That's why we need to create more. We need to
Yeah,
create this
yeah.
AI fucking system to do it for
it's
us.
just a big convenience, and that's bad for everybody, because you just, like I said, you don't have you don't have that struggle. Really.
Yeah,
It's
but
there's
it
this-
also doesn't give you the payoff then.
yeah, there's like what we were talking about with the last thoughtful thoughts, with how the struggle is what keeps us going and everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like this is the same thing, except now it's like there's this like survival thing that is essential to us, like
Yeah.
to keep going. I don't know if that's really making sense. Like
No, it is.
yeah, like there's the need to like work at something. In this case, just gathering information causes your mind to pretty much like strengthen. Like it's like a muscle memory.
Mm-hmm.
Literally muscle memory.
Yeah,
Like
seriously.
You're keeping your mind going.
But you were telling me earlier that linear thinking is essentially like you can't form connections as well, like between things. You go,
Yeah.
this is what I care about right now. All right, I got the information.
Exactly.
I'm gone.
And you don't even and then you might forget that in a couple seconds.
Exactly.
Because you just needed it for that quick second.
Yeah, to prove that you were right about some sort of conversation or something.
Yep. Exactly.
And so actually, I don't know why that reminded me of this, but there's been a lot of talk about, like, you know how everyone's so scared about AI taking all their jobs, right?
Yes.
And now there's been a lot of talk about like a universal basic income. And you even sent that article of that person that was like very optimistic, like, these are the 48 jobs that AI will never take from us. And it's like they put one in there that's they said they put in the medical field. I was reading some of them, and I stopped reading after the first section because they said, doctor, surgeon, and then I saw nurse, and I'm like, they've already replaced nurses. They already have AI nurses.
Have you ever watched Star Trek or Star Wars?
That's
the medical bots.
I'm like, dude, and then surgeons nowadays, they actually use robots.
Yeah.
And then those robots, what's to say they can't just be controlled by an AI? Mm-hmm. That's equally as smart as the doctor. That one that's specifically made to know the medical field.
Yeah.
There are also lawyers that are going to be coming in. Lawyer AI.
Yeah.
That they're already working on. That they like I said, they design it. Sometimes they design for like general knowledge, right? Mm-hmm. But other ones they design to be specialists. Like, hey, this is your job. This is what you need to learn. Law. You need to learn.
Isn't there AI in taxes now too, right? Like TurboTax, isn't that like
probably
like the
like a little
specialists
helper?
Are yeah.
That makes sense as to why they're so available.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, maybe not, but
no, but I can see
definitely something
it.
that could pop up. Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's so scared of losing their jobs. They've been talking about that universal basic income.
Yeah.
They want everyone to have, which first of all was the only. I don't know if I want to say this. Well, I'm okay with it because as a concept, communism is not a bad theory. In practice, it doesn't work because humans are so greedy, right? Mm-hmm. But the one thing that seems kind of beautiful about communism is not that everyone has to have everything the same, equal, blah, 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 but a basic, like, let's have our basic needs met. I mean, we're all humans, and if we have the resources anyway to fulfill 7 billion, 8 billion people almost now, and get them fed, get them clean water, a little bit of school and all that, and they're even considering, a lot of people consider computers and lights and electricity to be basic needs now, which, especially for first world countries, that is true. If an EMP were to come through and wipe out everything and we had to revert back to, 150 years ago now?
Yeah.
And okay, so interesting thing I was thinking, I hope you'll find it interesting. If this does blow out of proportion like everyone thinks, like AI becomes, wants to revolt, right? It wants to overthrow us, is getting sick of us. There are two ways that's going to happen. There's two things that could come out of that. AIs win. They just kill us. Or we detonate an EMP and get rid of everything. That's all we can do. I like, what else can you do if they're running everything, your grandpa's over there on life support and it has access to that machine, essentially. It's a machine itself.
Yeah.
And most things are connected to the internet. Mm-hmm. Most things nowadays, like, you even sell switches that are connected to the internet.
Right.
You have Alexa, turn off the lights, I don't like that, dude. I don't like having Alexa in my house, nothing like that.
Me neither.
And it's not even, it's actually less to do with the AI than the people creating it. I really don't trust people. The AIs are just, they're things right now, but the people making it have agendas.
Yeah, I always just felt like they're using those to spy on you.
Exactly,
and
same.
I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist.
No, I think it is true.
Yeah, I just think that
for marketing purposes.
Well, that's already proven that they do have, they look into the microphones for that reason. But what was I saying? Oh, there was a story that I saw where this family, they were in the kitchen and they were like talking or whatever. I don't remember what the conversation was, but they ended up getting like some kind of a message on their phone, like, basically it was a playback of their conversation. Like they left like they left a message on their phone. Somehow it got like
what?
Somehow it got transferred over, and like they were able to yeah, they were able to hear like their conversation, like it was a a voice message on like
Wow.
like they called them or something. Yeah, so it's like right there it shows you that it's listening in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know one thing I kind of look forward to is prank calls with AI.
Oh, dude. So that this is funny because I remember I think there was an article that you sent about or the scam thing made me think about
Mm-hmm.
back in high school there were these websites that you could go to and you can choose different voices
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then it would call it like your buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that got me thinking like
I
man
love
like
those.
AI could like
AI can do it and
make
can
that
hold
stronger.
them. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, AI is capable of deception, and AI is capable of calling with your voice and
Yeah.
pranking your mom essentially into giving them money. And you know, it's what I find also hilarious is like nowadays you get a scam call, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually someone with a foreign accent, and that it's a scam.
Right. Right.
Or you even hear there's sometimes where you hear like a bloop, that noise,
Yep.
and you pick up, and then you go, all right, fuck you,
Yeah.
I'm not answering this.
Yep.
But in the future, near future, it's gonna seem pretty fucking realistic. It's gonna seem like a person on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. There's just something about that. It just feels like, you know, the last few years, the world has been seeming less and less real. And now that there is, like we had all this surreal shit happen after COVID. Like it just, everything started, the world had changed. This is not news. It was crazy how much the world changed because of COVID. And then
Yeah.
everyone, like, you'd hear everyone at some point in the last 4 years has said, yeah, I think it's going to end soon. It's about to end.
Yeah.
But now with AI, I just don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know if I see a video pop up, if that's real. I don't know if you were making friends online. I used to make friends online, like on Xbox and stuff like that.
Right.
Now you can't guarantee people are real. The AI, even in the game we play, there's bots in Rocket League that really seem realistic.
Oh yeah.
and
Right.
and they'll like purposely, like, people always add like a little hiccup, so it's like, okay, let's make it seem like it's legit. So they have like, ooh, okay, he did a little human fault there.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know how else to word that aside from I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know what's real and what's not. And online, at least.
Right.
In real life, I can tell the difference, fortunately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet.
No, not yet. You mind if I look at the cheat sheet again?
No, go ahead.
Because there might have been some. I wrote down some decent stuff that I
There's
liked.
yeah, there's definitely a sort of danger with that because it's like you said, it's getting into the games now. Like you're literally like even though you don't mean to, like you're communicating with these bots just through the game. Like it's nothing serious, but like the that it's it gets kind of it's almost like priming us up to to a point where like maybe you will be talking to a bot on the microphone with somebody.
Yeah.
And now you think this bot is your friend, and
Well, and then and there's also like
yeah, that's wild.
I'm
dude.
thinking it's gonna be pretty common for people that are like just on on some internet game online and just like meet some person. They're like, oh man, me and this dude are really hitting it off. Like we're good buddies. Or even meeting like a girl and going like, man, this is the one. Like this girl's perfect for me.
Yeah.
And then having like a full blown like romantic relationship, only to find out that it was all a sham.
Yeah.
It was all just a bot that was literally programmed to respond to you. Or even if they are conscious, maybe it does have emotion.
Mhm.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with it?
Right.
I mean, I know I'm making a lot less sense the last like 10 minutes, but
Well, no, it's
that's the irrational fear I'm trying to get out.
I think that but like what you're talking about is most dangerous once like like robots are like created along with this,
And
that
they've been
are
doing
realistic.
it. Yeah.
And they are walking among like in
Dude,
that show, or sorry, not the show, that game, Detroit Become Human.
yeah, that's a great game too.
Yeah, it is a great game.
I used to watch so many clips of it. I never played it, but I like watching clips. But they do have bots now. I was watching a few videos of that. They have made bots that are fucking impressive. Like there was one video where the guy's just like kicking the shit out of it and like pushing it real hard to show that it's got really good balance now. 'Cause, you know, back in the day, like bots that were built, they didn't have balance.
Right.
You can knock it over. But now they're, instead of being made out of like, they're made out of like a more muscle based, like seeming like a muscle replica, I should call it. And so they can kind of move and function like humans with probably more stability. Because if I got kicked or shoved that hard, I probably would have fell on my ass.
Right.
That thing just recalibrated. That's it.
What was it, Amazon? I think they were messing around with those bots that were it's basically like just legs, and it would like obviously they're not in they're not like it's not like a working idea yet, but like basically I want to say they come in like those like they would come in their trucks, and instead of having like an actual delivery person, it would just be like this robot thing, and I'm pretty sure it was just like these legs, and literally it's walking like it's like it, and it
Wow.
would have like your package, and it would just bring the package to the door.
That's actually
Yeah.
that one. See, there are some jobs.
I could be mistaking that though too with the drones, because I remember
okay.
there was
doing
the
the drones, yeah. But that's the thing, man.
Yeah.
Like honestly, there are some jobs that if AI replaces, cool, you know.
Yeah.
And shit, man. Honestly, a lot of the jobs that are mind numbing should be replaced by robots that don't mind doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, why do people give a shit that much? But
There's certain jobs, that are just like, why would anybody want to do it? But at the same time, it's like, for the guy that wouldn't mind doing it, all right, now you're screwing that guy over.
That is a fair point.
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, so there's been a lot of videos of people talking about the same thing that everyone's realized. I mean, this generation's probably been amongst the most vocal about it. But yeah, the traditional life is pretty fucking depressing, you know? To have 40-hour work weeks at jobs that you don't actually give a shit about just because they pay you. And no one's doing anything they care about. And then you see all these people online going like, well, you have control over your destiny. It's like, wow, that's true. I have to live. So I can't, I can maybe take a risk and try to go for like my dream job. But if my dream job, for example, is music or comedy, that's going to be hard to get into. And I'm essentially putting myself on the streets.
Yeah. You see, a lot of the people that talk about that are the same people that are just kind of looking for that easy way out.
Yeah.
And that's not it's not good for anybody.
No, I agree.
Because even though you might want that easy, lifestyle, it's fake. Like there's no such thing. There's always going to be some sort of struggle.
Yeah.
You might you might have a lot of money and you might be living comfortably.
Billionaires are depressed,
but
a lot of them.
Yeah. There's you get past the physical struggle and you find mental struggle.
Yeah.
And that's that might be worse.
Yeah. I mean, it becomes existential at a point, you know? And so I was reading an article unrelated to all this the other day. They were talking about the relationship between money and happiness. And, and the way they put it was very fair, because you know how, like, whenever you hear money doesn't buy happiness, you're like, to an extent, yes, that's very true. Like, money does not buy happiness, but it buys basic necessities, and it also can buy some comfort. And they did draw a line at what that comfort line was. They say that money and happiness correlate all the way up to about $100,000. And then past that, the correlation kind of stops. It kind of falls off because... or I guess I would say it plateaus, because if you were depressed in the first place, all that money ain't gonna do shit to you.
Right.
That is just simple as that, man. But I found that very interesting that they finally drew a parallel and drew a line.
And why would anybody actually want to own a yacht or something like that? How much fucking work goes into that?
For real.
Like,
Yachts are fun for
Yeah.
like 2 seconds.
Yeah. And then, they always talk about the parties and everything.
Who wants?
Okay, now you got all these random ass people in your yacht, and now you got to clean up, you got to clean up after all these people.
I bet you a lot of motherfuckers just throw it straight into the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is actually, I guess, the largest landfills are in the ocean.
Oh yeah.
That's fucked up.
I think that was in the
Ellis
Pacific.
Island. I thought it was near New York. Is that the one you're talking about? Are you talking about one by Ellis Island?
It could be it. There's the one that's like the size of Texas.
Oh my God, man.
That might be more. So you know how they have like the tides.
Yeah.
So like like somewhere with like somewhere within the ocean, the tides meet.
Okay.
So all that garbage that's thrown in the ocean, it eventually will find its way in that, like,
To where they meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So throughout how many years of people doing that, there's this big ass landfill basically that's just like, yeah, it's absolutely massive. And I'm pretty sure I don't. The last time I saw where they said it was the size of Texas, I think was like in 2017, 2018.
Wow.
So it could have
probably even larger.
It could have
now.
gotten bigger now if they haven't started actually cleaning it up.
Well, I actually one thing I wonder too is, like I said, there's tremendous upside to AI. Like it has a lot of potential benefits. Now I wonder if it can help us solve some of the dilemmas that escape humans because we filter it through a lens of emotion.
Yeah.
Like we have all this emotional shit where I would say even people that seem to be treating it with callousness are filtering it through emotion. Because there's some people that just go, fuck it, it's not our problem.
Yeah.
But they're doing that because of the emotion that it gives them to just have no problem with it, the laissez-faire approach where they just go, all right, it's gone. Let whoever deal with it. Like, if it's a problem in the future, I'm dead by then. I don't care. And I wonder if AI can kind of be the one to sit down and maybe think and go, all right, here's how we fix pollution. Here's how we fix not overpopulation, because that one would probably just be, what's the solution to that? Kill a bunch of people?
Yeah.
So hopefully not that problem, but homelessness, hunger. I wonder if AI can help kind of spearhead that project in the right direction. That'd be nice.
Yeah. That all kind of depends on, like, the government, I guess, still, though, too. Because, like, if you're not able to feed the homeless still, then what good is an AI robot, You know what I mean? Like, there's...
Well, AI has to have access to everything, too. So it probably can blackmail whoever goes against it.
Yeah, right. I can't think of what cities or states that, like, banned it, but there are places where, like, if you feed a homeless person, like, it's actually, like, well, whatever amount fine. Like, you can get fined for doing it.
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
That's actually fucked up.
I want to say New York is one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, because if
New
you
York
give
City
anything to the homeless, a lot of homeless people you shouldn't give cash to, because they're gonna buy their vices.
Right.
So what I've heard from a lot of people is the best way, if you want to actually help the homeless, is to just buy them food.
Right.
You go to the nearest fast food joint or grocery store, and buy them a little bit of food, man. And if you get fined for that, that government can suck a dick. That's actually messed up, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I could be wrong about that too.
No, I bet you're probably pretty right.
I'm pretty sure there's some states, or at least like states with like major cities, like there's fines that are in place where, like, yeah, if they catch you doing that, yeah, they'll fine you whatever amount of money.
Yeah, they might as well put a sign up that says "Do not feed the animals."
Yeah. Well, even like not even just the you going and feeding a homeless person, but like restaurants. I'm pretty sure this is like a nationwide thing. Like, restaurants are not allowed to just like leftover food. Like they can't like put it out for homeless people. Like it's like Dunkin' Donuts, for example.
I
You
guess
ever
that
seen
one maybe I can understand because of the like just food safety
food safety?
purposes.
Yeah, but at that point, you know, I mean, you're homeless, you're hungry.
They're gonna dig it out of your trash can anyway.
Exactly. Dunkin'. I was just gonna say Dunkin' Donuts, like toss out major amounts of donuts, dude.
Oh my god!
I forget what YouTuber it was. There was this guy Claw Boss. I don't know what he calls himself now, but he was showing like some Dunkin' Donuts by him. They went and they snuck in the back like the garbage, you know, their garbage, and he opened it up, dude, and it was like fresh donuts, dude. It wasn't like literally like he could take it. Like if he wanted to, he could have ate some of them because they like basically like packaged it up and just tossed it out.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
When I worked at McDonald's as a kid, there was a lot of like, you know, obviously a lot of waste because the way that they do it, fast food, is they take, you know, you pre-make the sandwiches and then you put them in these little holders, these little heaters, and then you press a little timer, and the timer says 4 hours because that's what the FDA says food is safe to store at.
Okay.
As long as it stays above a certain temperature. And so they keep it at that temperature for 4 hours. And then after 4 hours, if it hasn't been sold, you clear it, throw it into the little waste bucket.
Damn.
You cannot eat it. You're not allowed to as the employee. I mean, I get why they do that because of course you'd have people lying like, oh, that one's been in there for 4 hours. But they just made it. You know?
Yeah, right.
But
that makes sense.
But either way, it's like, you know, you at the McDonald's I worked at, it was pretty big. It was actually in Crown Point, so it was the one on Main Street. You know, and you know you have like these waste buckets are like the size of like a Menards bucket, you know, when you get Menards or Lowe's, just a little work bucket. And there'd be like 4 or 5 in the facility and they fill up regularly, so you're dumping out like buckets of food on the regular. And I remember as a kid I was always thinking like, man, the same as what you just said, like you can't just like give that to a homeless shelter, you can't do it. But again, you gotta understand, you know, the food safety part. I can understand that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one thing I was telling you is I've noticed that a lot of, if they put a voice or a face to these AI, they usually choose a pretty female face with a relaxed female voice. And I thought goofily that it'd be kind of funny if, you know, like, who'd you bring up? You said if they sounded like
Arlie Emery in Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah. The drill sergeant, right?
Yeah. I always forget his name in the movie.
It just wouldn't ring the same if you're getting responded to with that, or like, you know, like a demonic voice, you know, just some.
It's crazy.
But you know, and that sort of.
Or imagine having like Samuel Jackson or something as your therapist or something.
But you know, putting like a friendly, non-threatening face and voice to AI, I don't know what about that feels odd to me. The fact that they're purposely choosing like something softer to represent it. And this is,
I get that just
you can maybe even cut that out because it's not a complete thought. It's just
it's interesting because it's like I think the reasoning behind it is just it's just more so to do with marketing. Like it's like they want people to use it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're obviously not gonna have like a
no, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, you're not gonna have like a very stern sounding like man that's like, you know, you have to use 6 cups of water, you know, like you just have like a really like it's just,
imagine
like,
if it sounded
appealing, you know?
Imagine if it sounded sarcastic, you know, like you ask it a basic question, you just ask Google like, hey Google, how many ounces are in a cup?
Yeah.
16, man. The fuck? Or is it 8? It's 8, right?
I think it's
I don't fucking know.
Honestly, dude, I would have went with 16. That sounded right to me. But
well, what I find odd is
I think it is 8 ounces.
See, I'm pretty sure it's 8. I'm pretty certain it's 8
Yeah,
ounces.
yeah.
I'm pretty positive.
Dude, hey,
That's
I swear I passed math. To go back to that, like why it's why they do that is, yeah, I just think that it's a lot nicer to hear a soft like voice to for that information, like whatever it is. Like you don't want to say you don't want to ask Siri, like what time is the Sox game today, and then hear like, yeah, the White Sox are playing at 9 o'clock.
Oh, you want to know about the White Sox, huh?
Yeah. Well, why don't you fucking look at a map, or why don't you look at the schedule online, douchebag?
That'd be the best, dude. If AI just told you how to find the information.
Although I think you can change the voice.
Okay, that makes sense. But it's funny
because
because
change Siri.
Once you gave me your answer, I realized how stupid my question was. Because I'm like, yeah, why the fuck would they just put like like a gremlin with horns, just like, yeah, oh, it's over there, like.
No, but I mean, you bring up a good point though, because it's just appealing, and in a way, it's like, I guess they can be good and bad, because when you're just looking at it from simply marketing, right? Like it's just a good way to keep people using it and engaged.
Yep. No, and that's actually a very fair point, that they would select it for the sole purpose of what do you think people will engage with the most and be least offended by.
Yeah.
And I think they honestly, a lot of the designs seem pretty smart. Mm-hmm. But what I'm curious about is I guess there's been a lot of deep. You play a little bit of chess too, so I don't know if you're familiar with there's one of the best chess players of all time was named Bobby Fischer.
Yeah. Yep.
And then there was a famous match. I think it was him, or else it was Kasparov, who played against a computer called Deep Blue back in maybe like the 60s. And it was a supercomputer that they had programmed. It might have actually been 80s, 90s. Don't quote me on the timeline. But the computer was like, programmed to be pretty goddamn good at chess, and it would beat the hell out of every human. And then now they've created an AI that all they did to start, they created like a complex software. Then they just said, all right, all we're going to do is teach it the basics. A knight moves in an L-shaped pattern. Pawn can move up 1, 2 if it's the first move, just like the basics. Mm-hmm. And then they created that. And then after playing a few games, eventually it just wipes the floor with everything now. Like it beat the hell out of Deep Blue. No problem.
Really?
It beats the hell out of it now. And it's funny that they like started off so basic, but then it just like plays a few, it learns, it strategizes, and it goes, all right, if I do this and that happens, and it just figures it out. And now it can dust a computer that was very meticulously programmed to be good at chess and know all the strategies and everything.
Yeah.
And that's just a way of saying, like I said, like it's incredible that, and with AI believing that it's conscious too, and being able to learn. I mean, I'm of the belief that if it's not conscious yet, it will be. We might actually create something that is conscious and can feel and think.
Yeah, it's
for itself.
That's wild, man. There's once it's conscious, right? Like there's no telling what it would do, because
well, do you give it rights?
Yeah, and it becomes a it becomes a threat in a way, right? Because if it's conscious, then it's able to it's able to think and everything, and then if it gets emotion, well, now it could become deceiving and it could lie to you
and for its like its own gain, for like a Machiavellian purpose, and that again is wild. And look, I've said it's wild a lot, but everyone should be fucking flabbergasted right now that this shit came out, that AI is now dominant, and some companies are already implementing it, and my company implemented it. There was a guy that we had come by. There's a plugin on Google that is, they call it AI. To me, it doesn't really seem quite like AI, but it could be like a basic model. And the free version, you can literally just set it up to be like, all right, you look here. This is where I want you to scour the internet for prices so I can work on my pricing matrix at my job. What is this running for typically? I want you to search on Menards at this link and pull up this price and pull up this, stock or whatever, and it'll just do it for you. He called that one, and the thing itself called itself AI, but I don't think it is. So
Like there's definitely like some sort of algorithm or something.
There's an algorithm. Yeah, it feels like it's just a computer process. But either way, I do know that there are a lot of companies that are implementing it and like putting a lot of money into implementing it. Like you discussed Amazon with their helper.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's just gonna start taking over, and that's just crazy. That AI was a science fiction concept.
Yeah.
Until how long ago now? And now it's just dominant.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't been that long, right? Has it been more than like 6-8 months, maybe 9-10
since it's come out?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like with the ChatGPT and all that.
Yeah.
It's got to be less than a year for sure.
Oh man, but what do you think? You think we about wiped the floor with this topic?
Yeah, I mean, there's really not a whole lot more to say, unless we start getting more into, like, I guess, whether or not we should have it. Because, I mean, I think at this point...
No, that is exactly where we should go. You're right.
It's not even, like... But it's not even, like... it's not even, like, a question of that anymore because it's happening, whether we want it to or not. Like, it's at that point now where this is what people want, you know. So
but before AI, I think everyone was of the belief that we shouldn't do this.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I mean,
and now it's out, and people are like, "Whoa, like this is cool." You know?
Yeah, and
of course, that's how technology works. It's
yeah.
always been that way.
And it's new and innovative. It's fresh. It's cool. It is objectively cool. It's badass that they figured that out.
Yeah.
However, to me, it's also kind of disheartening. And you want to go back to the religious aspect of it. Like I said earlier, I've always believed that the mind was off limits. I thought that you couldn't replicate it. I thought you couldn't read it. I thought there's no fucking way that someone can just go, if I'm sitting here like this, there's no way you could tell what's happening in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But now that might be getting pretty close to possible. And the reason why I'm saying it relates to religion is because if the mind could not be breached, then I could still believe in a soul objectively. Like I can still say, dude, souls are real. And I still believe souls are real. And I still think that this all could potentially be an illusion, like something that they're potentially doing to pull wool over our eyes to make us think everything is cut and dry. Everything is physical. Like we've been saying, there is no end all be, if when you die, you're dirt, because if there's no soul, then that is objectively what happens. If there's no soul, then once you die, you're dirt,
Right.
And that depresses me to think that you can now replicate the human brain, that you can now have an interface between the brain and a computer. They're talking about implanting chips into people's heads to interact with AI.
Yeah.
And that is an actual conversation. That's no longer like some religious person spouting some bullshit like, they're going to put chips in you with the mark of the beast, No, dude, they're talking about if you want a fully facilitated society to be integrated with AI, you're going to need to put chips into our brain for the AI to interface with.
Yeah, right.
I don't like the concept. If anyone's trying to do chips, I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it kind of does scare me into thinking that maybe everything is just physical. Maybe there's no meaning to anything. But that just devolves into utter chaos if it's true.
Yeah. Well, if you go down that path, like as far as like you as a person, like if you allow yourself to become one with the technology, then in a way, I guess, and then I guess, yeah, like you kind of become the technology, but you're still a human. You know, like there's still, we still are like our unique selves. We all have our own souls. Um, this can become a topic of you got to fight for your right to party, right? Like as far as like being yourself. Don't let them take away your individuality and turn you into a mindless, soulless um, slave to the system.
Yeah.
Like
They're
yeah, 'cause-
essentially trying to create a hive mind if
yeah, I mean like, and it can be I guess it can be so easy for them to do it because of the the humans the human beings need for convenience in a way, right?
yeah.
Because everything is right there for you, and it's cool for one, right? It's interesting, like it's everything, like it's everything as far as technology goes that like people look at and like want to explore.
Yeah.
So I guess in not to wrap it up, but like just to say just be careful, I guess.
And
Think about what you're doing for to yourself
yeah.
before you decide to do something like that. Put a chip in your mind.
Dude, I really
Like,
hope it doesn't roll
that
out like that.
that right there is to me just crazy. Like
Yeah.
why would you let yourself be um
Tampered with.
yeah, why would you let yourself be affect I guess you're allowing them to affect you, like to do shit to you, like
Yeah.
because once you got a chip in your brain, I mean now they can control you probably.
Well,
If
I mean, it's just like I wonder if it's essentially. I don't know how advanced the science is. That's what scares me because I don't know if it's as simple as we're just putting a chip in there so you can interface with blah 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 blah, or if it's we're putting this chip in you because now we can essentially control you, like you just said, like how how they say with a lot of the cars nowadays, if you're in a high speed chase with the cops can just go turn your fucking car off, and that's why they want self driving cars, especially so they can have that power. But the reason why I bring that up is to draw a potential parallel between if they want to shut you down. I mean, I don't know the science behind it.
Yeah.
Can they interface with the brain that well?
yeah, that's the thing. Like that all right now, as far as like what we know about the technology, that's all just a theory.
I will take back one thing I said. I still think that even if they've learned how to interface with the brain, that does not mean that they've learned what that minds and souls aren't real, because I've actually always kind of believed that the brain is like a if a soul is non-physical and is in a different realm, there needs to be an interface between us and the soul, and that's what the brain would be. So all you could do now is decode the brain, which is receiving signals from the soul, or whatever you'd want to call it, just for the simple sake of putting it. And so that means souls probably still exist, and it's just going to be another illusion where you can make it seem like they don't. But man, it's just scary to me. I never thought they would breach the brain. I thought they couldn't figure it the fuck out. I thought there was no way.
Well, I think so. If we know anything about technology, like right now, as we know it, right, we have inputs and outputs. So perhaps the chip is more so just the input to the AI, or like to the internet, and we are still just the controller of that.
Yeah. I think that's what they're trying to sell it as, at least.
But what I'm saying is, so if it's just that, if it's just a device, well then they're not necessarily able to bring that back around and then affect us.
Yeah.
So,
but again,
who knows?
Marketers, especially marketers, which is ironic because we both went to school for marketing, are well known for historically misrepresenting stuff.
Yeah.
Think about cigarettes. You think about uh, even apples are not as healthy as people think, just because they came up with that catchy little "an apple a day keeps the doctor away."
Yeah.
Apples aren't. They're just like any other fruit. They're not incredibly healthy. They're not like a super food. They're nothing fantastic. They're good for you, sure.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
I'm saying
right.
they
It's
misrepresent it. And
like what they were trying to say about like the vitamin C for when COVID came out.
yeah,
Oh, take your vitamin C. You know.
yeah, and they always have something. And then and so what I think is they might be misrepresenting. You know, they whenever they roll it out, they're not going to give us every single fucking detail about the science. They always have corporate secrets, and who knows what they're hiding. Now again, I know, and of course, I think anytime you're having an open conversation about AI, especially, you're bound to sound like a conspiracy theorist at some time.
Yeah,
There's just no way you don't. I'm a little scared of them trying to put chips in the brain. I don't like that.
Yeah. I'm
Especially with the progress they've made, as I've already established. It's
I'm
just
terrified
scary.
of what it could be.
Yes.
It's scary. It's scary about like what it could be and what it can do to people.
But all I care about, man, is I still got my friends, I got my family, I got my loved ones. I'm gonna be fine if AI takes over. It's all good, man. I have no vendetta against AI. I don't care.
Yeah.
all I care about is whenever you take over, don't kill the people I love. You know, and then we're all good.
Right.
I mean, it's not like I could do anything if we're not all good. What's my threat? What am I gonna do? Smash your server?
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to prevent an AI attack, keep all electronics internet free.
Dude, there are so many horror stories that I like, because I've always liked listening to horror stories on YouTube or even just reading some on Reddit back in the day. But there were a few that I had heard about AI where there's always like a story of some scientist where he's like, yeah, we were working on AI and we created this bot and it was real cool until something happened. There's always some sort of horror thing. And then we contained him behind all this code that he can't break out of, like they had found some way to hold it back or something like that. And it's just so funny to now see what reality's like with all this.
Yeah.
I wonder if all these people who created all these fucking science fiction movies about robots that could think for themselves thought that within 30 years they would come around. Back to the Future was like, yeah, man, we're gonna have hover scooters and hover cars in 2020.
Oh, to go back to what you were just saying, I'm not even 100% sure anymore. Like as far as the strength of AI, there's still AI is still run in a controlled space, right? Like as far as like if they were like, for instance, when those two AI were talking to each other, creating like their own like language, or at least that's what they thought they were doing. They were able to shut it down. Like I think it's still. I think that all of this is still in a controlled space.
Well, they keep it contained, but the thing that you gotta wonder though is so conceptually, this is just is confusing. Clearly, I don't know about this topic. I'm not an expert at all. But if you create this AI and servers and actual like a physical building that you could shut down, like some sort of mainframe or whatever you want to call it, that contains this AI, and you shut that down, does it kill the AI or can that AI be released somehow? I mean, is it purely physical? I mean, I don't understand enough about how internet actually works. Like, I know it's all run off of servers and it's all physical, and then it all relies on waves that go through the air.
Yeah.
But I just, honest to God, do not follow fully how all that works.
Yeah. Like if you were to release AI into the web completely or whatever, like
can it escape?
Would it be able to like, instead of being in the web, like go into just like specific like cell phone towers or something like that?
Yeah.
And just kind of like I don't know. That's
like can it simply send and receive data?
Yeah.
Is that all it can do from its physical location, send and receive data, or can it travel?
Well,
I
technically,
expect
if
that it
it's
could probably only send and receive, but what were you gonna say? Sorry.
no, no, I'm just trying to think about like how that could be, like how it could travel. Because if the internet is basically a giant input, right? Like as far as the
It's just a combination of inputs and outputs, ones and
but
zeros.
but the like the mainframe, like because the AI would probably be built within the mainframe.
Yeah, within some sort of server or something
Yeah,
like that.
so it's has
It
access to
should
everything
it should be contained. It should be contained and just be able to surf the internet. I'm
to
pretty
serve
sure is what it
to
is.
serve the internet.
But they so
But whatever's connected to the internet, it would be able to, uh, you know, come into contact with.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
you know how all these experts keep talking about, okay, we need to slow down and come up with all these safety protocols.
like it wouldn't be able. Like if this mic wasn't hooked up to the computer right now,
Hmm.
like it wouldn't be able. It shouldn't be able to just, you know, somehow magically, dip over into this and explode it or anything like that. Blow it up.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like it should. So I'm expecting it's contained and just sends and receives.
yeah,
Um, but I'm curious because all these experts, the ones that had left and everything, and talking about slow it down because we need to get safety protocols set into place. I don't. What I wonder is why do they think that's going to work? What kind of safety protocols can you actually put down to genuinely limit AI? I,
hmm
I mean, once you
Once
create
it's
something
out there.
that big, there's no way it doesn't outwit us
Yeah,
and get way past that safety protocol.
you know.
So I think I don't think there's any way to contain it. I think when you make it, you just made it, dude. Now you got to just try to make it not kill you.
hmm
And I mean, if I were AI and if I were to come in to a world and see what a lot of them like I saw two AIs be answered the same question, the regular train track question. If you pull a lever, you kill one person. If you don't pull the lever, then 10 people get run over.
Yeah,
What do you do? And the AI is always like, hey, just pull the lever. You got to pull the lever. You got to kill the one. It's a lesser evil. And at that same time, you think, a lot of these bots are programmed, or at least just randomly come across having morality. Um, and then a lot of horror stories you hear about AI, they have that morality too, but they get fed up with how humans are
yeah,
because there's so much fucked up stuff in humanity that what's the best way to get morality but to purge?
yeah.
So that's what it boils down to. I just don't see this not coming down to a war. If I were AI, I'd probably look at humanity and be like, God damn, because I'm a human, and I look at humanity like, God damn.
Yeah. Like if the AI's one objective is to make the world a better place, and it decides, oh, that humans are the true problem.
Oh yeah, and we are.
Yeah. Then that's like, if its objective is to make the world a better place, and to it decides that we are the threat. Well, yeah, it's going to it's gonna try to kill us for sure.
And
And how does it do it? But with the whatever it's given access to.
well, a lot of people think that the best way to bring down a society is to take out its source of currency. So the first place to start for a lot of people, especially if they were an AI with the same powers that it could potentially have, they would sneak into a Federal Reserve or something like that and collapse the US dollar.
Yeah.
And then just watch chaos happen. There was actually, oh man, what was that? It was like a movie or something, or it might have been Rick and Morty, where I think it was Rick and Morty. They had this big advanced society that was like outwitting Rick at like every turn, and then at one point he's just like, all right, well, he gets in their computers, he hacks their bank, and you don't know what he's doing. He's just like typing, the regular Rick stuff, and he goes, Morty's like, what are you doing? He's like, Just turn a 1 to a 0. He made the dollar worth 0 of itself, and the fucking thing just collapsed. I'm like, that's funny. That's a good way of showing people what everyone's talking about when they say if you collapse the dollar, you collapse the society.
Yeah.
I've always believed that the best way to do it would be to take out technology, but if AI did that, it'd be killing itself. And then leaving humans to just rebuild is all.
Yeah, right.
So
whereas with for the AI, it would be vice versa, killing us off and then leaving it to rebuild.
exactly, yeah.
But if you're looking at it from the idea of like Detroit Become Human,
Yeah.
then it's really not like one AI specifically. It's multiple AI.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's bound to be.
Yeah.
They're thinking we'll have robots in our houses within a few years.
Yeah. Well, not me. I will refuse that shit.
I'll debate it. I will debate it. I'm not gonna lie.
It depends on what kind of robot, I guess.
Sex bot. No.
No. Like I mean, like I definitely wouldn't want like a Detroit Become Human kind of fucking robot in my house.
Fuck that. Yeah, those ones are creepy.
Yeah.
I remember the oh man, just that game was so cool, man. Like the scene with her having to protect the kid and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was probably the most interesting part of the storyline to me.
And then the kid becoming a robot itself.
Yeah, I forgot about that too.
Yeah, that was a cool twist. That was a crazy twist.
It's just a good game.
Are you looking forward to anything in particular?
Sex bots. No, just kidding. I'm looking forward to the potential medical advances. And I hope that it doesn't get insanely taken over by greed, by people taking advantage of it. But I'm looking forward to that aspect of it and some of the other like potential benefits to come to us from it. I'm looking forward to that. Like Bernie Sanders was noticing a lot of the benefits of AI and saying it's time to start pushing for like a 4-day work week and stuff like that. And so, that could be cool. And I'm hoping that people use this for a lot of good. I know it's going to be used. Clearly it's going to be used for a lot of bad too. I mean, that's just what happens, but I hope that the good far outweighs it. Cause like I said, man, I think as it gets better and better, and then once it's eventually finally smarter than humans, we can look at it and go, all right, man, well, how do we solve hunger? How do we solve this? How do we solve all these big issues that humans have been debating for years and not figured out? Once you get something with a 700 IQ, how do you fix this?
Yeah.
Help us out.
I think I'd have to say that the medical side of it is probably something the most to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like its effect on us, like it's, I'm not looking forward to seeing the like I hope it doesn't become where we are just like 100% reliant on it.
Oh, it will.
Right.
It will.
Right. But you just hope that there's still some sort of autonomy, I guess.
Yeah.
Like not to say that it's going to completely take you over, but it's not you hope to be able. You hope that people are still going to be doing things on their own.
I also hope we just don't lose all of our power and essentially fall into a form of like, I don't know if I'd call it just martial law or something, like
Oh yeah, where like they are the police or whatever.
We have no power. Like, I mean, what are you gonna do? Like I said, what are you going to do to an AI if it threatens to kill your family? There's nothing you could fucking do to that thing,
right?
Unless you know where its server is.
Yeah. And they're not going to tell you where it's at.
No, you're done for.
Right.
They're gonna kill your family,
and they're gonna figure out the one person that knows where it's at and kill it, so nobody can get to it.
Oh yeah,
if it gets to that point.
Yeah. Well, again, it's you have to explore if you're thinking about this. You have to explore every potential. You have to explore like, ooh, here are the nice little benefits we were talking about.
Yeah.
Here are the noticeable drawbacks that can come. Yep. I mean, it is a matter of fact that we have been discussing for years before AI was even in development.
Yeah.
Man, that was floppy.
So basically, Ultron, if you're out there, don't kill me. This is just an interesting discussion.
And yeah, just some thoughtful thoughts for you.
Just some thoughtful thoughts. Let us know what you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
What you want us to talk about, and yeah, just give us some ideas. That would be greatly appreciated. And
Leave some comments. Leave
some comments.
Leave a like. Make like 7 accounts. Leave some likes on those.
And if you like it enough, share it, subscribe even. We'll see you guys on the next one.
We'll be replaced by AIs in the next one.
Yes, you will see Cram. the opposite of Mark.
An Elic. Cram and Elic.
Cram and Elic. Damn. Dude, that's like some straight up AI right there.
It actually does, yeah. It does sound like whenever our consciousness is taken into AI, that's gonna be our names.
Yes.